Um, Hi, so I'm Toey, she, her pronouns. And I wanted to thank you for running for office again and seeking the Riveters collective endorsement. We're welcome to your interview, which we're conducting on the traditional territory of the Nooksack tribe and the Lummi Nation. This interview is being recorded so we can use it in endorsement decisions, and it also may be shared. Your screen name will be on the recording. Looks like you got it right, but if you wanted to change it, you could.
It's fine.
We have 5 questions, approximately 3 to 4 minutes in answer time. And then hopefully at the end, if you have some questions for us, we'll have time for that. To begin, how would you like us to address you?
Oh, Satpal is good.
Okay, great. And right now I'd like my other committee members to introduce themselves, starting with Lychee.
Hello, my name is Lychee Leong. Lychee is my first name, and I moved to Bellingham 10 years ago from New York City. I apologize for being off camera. I don't have a camera on this computer, but I will pass things over to Arlene.
Hello, Satpal. I'm Arlene Feld, and you know a lot about me, so I won't add anything more.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Ray. I'm a high schooler at Seahome High School, graduating this year.
Wonderful.
And we're going to start off questions. Sophia's going to ask you the questions.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, so starting off with our first question here, please describe a recent project that you collaborated on. How did you facilitate that collaboration, and what did you learn from your partners that you'll improve on in the future?
Yes, many, but I will just give you one example. When the CARES Act dollars happened, and we were in COVID situation and emergency declared, I suddenly became the CEO, or you call it the emergency manager of the county. I had emergency powers. So the oversight committee is made of 7 mayors, county executive, and the sheriff. Something we have not experienced in last 50 years. If we experienced something, it lasted like 2 days. And I had suddenly a task, which I'm on the job for less than 2 months, to collaborate countywide, all the governments. So I worked with all the mayors for 2.5 years through COVID. I never used my emergency powers. I didn't have to use my emergency powers because I was able to work with all the mayors on both sides of the aisle and make 8-0 decisions. That is collaboration at very highest level, when especially you have partisan mayors, partisan issues, but I offered them very balanced perspective on every issue which came up. I listened a lot, and that's how I was able to collaborate. What I learned from them, that people are not naturally opposing you. People actually have a perspective they believe in. They have their thought process. They think this is the right way to do it. They're not just opposing you, that if you say something, let's do it this way, that they are just trying to disrupt you. That's not their intention. Always the intention is that they think. So the lesson is how you convince them, how you bring them around to a perspective and be ready to change. Maybe what you are pushing or you are saying, maybe you are not right. A lot of times you have to look back, take a step back and say, well, there is a point. If they are saying, maybe it is not a perfect solution, very, very hard to find perfect things in this world. It's always good things. So that's what I learned, and that's how I collaborated, and it lasted after the COVID. Even now, when we are working on the floods, when we are working on the jail issue, we are working on the adjudication. I have very close collaboration with all the mayors, even Everson or Nooksack or Sumas. They're not small city mayors. They're equal partners. Thank you.
Thank you. How will you involve residents in your decision-making process?
Oh, many times. It's been a lot of experience. I think one of the things we did was when we were setting up the testing sites, when we were distributing PPE, it was totally unusual, never practiced before. It was an event where you can't call the neighboring county or neighboring city, hey, we have a disaster, come help us. Everybody was in their same situation. It was emergent and emergency situation. It was growing every day. There's something new was coming up and you had to cope with, make a decision. So that's where the citizens got a lot of say. We were doing the distribution. The people were start sewing. You remember the cloth things? And I went with, yes, I remember that. And we went to that the people, I forget their name, in Bellosphere Mall. They opened a shop and they were doing a computerized machine, and they were cutting the masks and they were sewing it and the shield. I visited 5-6 different people who were doing masks their own way. And I collaborated with them. I looked at decisions, I saw, and then we cross-pollinated. Hey, you are doing this, you can market maker space. Thank you. I remember that. So we would say, no, they're doing like this, and this is better or faster or this, right? And there were people who would say, I would donate cloth for that. So I think that's where we involve a lot of citizens in their decision making. There are many others, but I think we have limited time, and that comes to my mind, the first thing, that how citizens were involved, and even choosing testing sites. And farmers, when they were the berry season in June, when COVID started, and farm workers were working, and they were working close to each other, we went ahead and equipped 2 vans for testing, and we were providing that service in the farms. And working with the farmer, we said, what works for you? They said, we can't send people to a testing site. You have to come and test us right in the field. And we complied with them and worked with them a collaborative way. Thank you.
Thank you. What do you think is the biggest challenge facing Whatcom County? How do you plan to address it?
Well, biggest challenge right now on our hands is how do we do the new justice facility? There are many challenges of, the fentanyl, drug issue, behavioral, mental health treatment, affordable housing, homelessness. There are many issues. I think that we started a public process in 2019. We'll have to shut it down because of COVID. Then we restarted in end of 2021. And have 35 citizens involved in the stakeholder advisory committee. I was very, very much involved with that process, but I basically kept quiet for 6 months. I would attend the meetings, but I'll never speak because I didn't want people to feel the county executive is trying to lead the conversation or trying to give his color on this conversation. I said, no, that's not my place because it's a public process. Let public make their decision and continue to do that. Then we reached some points, and I probably spoke 2 or 3 times in whole year. And then we had a issue of the needs assessment recommendations. Then we immediately started the implementation plan process. I participated more in that, and this is a huge challenge. There's so many facets of this. On the services side, the 3 major things is the facilities, the services or programs and the oversight. And the cities, the cities have 40% of the money. When we get $100 on the sales tax, $40 go to all the cities, and we get only $60 in Whatcom County, as a county. To do this project, we need all the money, and they have their needs. City of Bellingham is saying, or their need is that they can send their people to Whatcom County Jail. If in 2 years they have to send their people to Yakima, then they're saying, why the heck we are investing our money with you? Even I remember in 2017, this question was raised in the council. I was on the council member. Let Bellingham build their own jail. Because we were not seeing eye to eye at that or some point of time, right? But I mean, this has to be balanced. There are 7 mayors, and they have to come along as well, and they are very supportive of the programs and services. So how do we do? And it's a continuum of things. It's not the day one we can build everything before we start. It is a 5-6 year process where we can achieve everything we have promised, or which is recommended in the implementation plan, can be achieved if we are able to work on a continuum of this rather than day one. There's not enough money. So I think that I've been in the background. I'm not leading this. I don't have a vote on this. I have made a recommendation, which I wrote actually quite extensively in my response to Riveters, because I wanted to show that where I'm coming from. And I have written a memo to the council, which is public. I have written a draft ordinance where I left a lot of different things for councils to decide. So this is one of the biggest issue, and I'm trying my best. It is in flux as we speak, and most likely in next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, decision will be made. And I am working with all the stakeholders to make the decision which is good for our community. It's not a decision which is good for county executive or any one person. I think something which is good for our community, because we are making a decision for next 35, 40 years. And we have to be very careful. We cannot personalize or bring personalities to that. You should bring the community benefits to that. So that's what I'm trying to tackle, the biggest challenge on our hands right now.
Thank you so much. What experience as an administrator, executive, or elected official has prepared you to be the best candidate for this position?
Thank you. I think that I had to explain this in 2019 a lot because I was running for this position for the first time. I'm a first-generation immigrant, a first ever person of color elected in county council in 150 years of history, first ever county executive elected that, and it is not that I am a person of color, so I got elected. It's not good enough. It's not strong enough to seek this position. I have 40 years of experience. I had a bachelor's degree in physics and mathematics. Then I have a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. And then I have an MBA. And then I am a Fulbright scholar. And with all those backgrounds, I have worked internationally. I have lived in 3 countries. I grew up in India. I spent 11, 12 years as Canadian citizen in Canada. And then I have been here 30 plus years. I left my home almost 45, 47 years ago. And I will spend more life in this country than in India. But I have a foresight and experience. I normally don't say these things, but sometimes you have to express that. I am the person we look for. Where is the BIPOC person with lived experience? Where is the BIPOC person with trauma-informed I'm trauma informed as a minority. I'm trauma informed as growing up in poverty. I'm trauma informed as minority in India and minority in India. In India, we are only 1.5% of India's population. And in here, you all know. And my experience as being minority, when I came here, they didn't even recognize my degree. They think no way India can produce an engineer. That's what they did. I went to university, back to university in the evening, and did my degree again, just to get a job. Nothing stopped me. Nothing stopped me. I had a lot of experience of minority. Even last election, they shot in my sign and put no nigger on my campaign signs, but that didn't stop me. And I have a lot of, and that experience proven, because I didn't skip a beat when the COVID came, floods came, everything. Nobody ever said, oh, county executive is confused, he doesn't know what to do. Nobody has said in 4 years, anything came my way, nobody was able to say county executive didn't know what to do. Neither the council, nor anybody in my staff. I don't leave anything comes to my office 7 days. My rule with my staff is in 7 days, we should make a decision. Don't leave things out there, because in 7 days, we must make a decision. If it is wrong, we'll come back and correct it. But don't leave things out so that people don't know what's going to happen. I take advice from council members. I meet every council member personally, privately. I meet a lot of department heads. I have hired 4 department heads: the health department, parks department, HR, and public works. These are the largest departments, and they all have been very successful department heads. So I think I have those qualifications. I've proven my qualifications last 4 years. And my term got stolen from me for 3 years, what I wanted to do. Nobody expected that this will happen. And I want to still continue to do what I have started and what few more things I want to do. So that's why I'm seeking re-election. Thank you.
Thank you. And for our final question, as Whatcom County Executive, how can you support staff in pursuing new and innovative strategies to accelerate progress toward our community's goals?
Our community schools?
Goals.
Goals.
Our-
Oh, yes. Okay.
And Satpal, we don't have much time, so try to make it as quick as you can.
The first time ever in the county's history, I did a retreat, 1 full day retreat with all the department heads. Openly, I said, you guys bring your innovative ideas, how the county should work. And they were so appreciative. And that is how I get their collaboration on doing anything and everything. Like I choosing departments, a women engineer, I wanted to promote her. We had an outside candidate. I said, no, we have the opportunity. There's a female engineer. She's totally capable and she can learn on the job. We should promote from within. Then I promoted a county engineer, the other person retiring. I promoted another county engineer from within. HR department head was the second in command. I promoted from within. She is also a female. And so is the health department head, Erica Lautenbach. So yes, I have really motivated all my department heads to do their best and bring the best out of them. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to make sure you had enough time. Yeah, so we pretty much used we used up our time. We have time. Yeah, Lychee, did you have one more question?
I did. I just wanted to follow up because you said you had more that you wanted to do that COVID and the floods derailed. So I'm curious what you hope to accomplish in this term if you're reelected.
Yeah, I think the one is the water issue. Last 33 decades, no politician wanted to touch it. They said it's a lose-lose situation. When I was running for county executive, I promised that because I will talk on water, because this is an existential issue. With climate change, water is our biggest issue. We may not realize it's much bigger than jail. It is our existence as Whatcom County. And I took that issue. I have been moved so far that I am neutral. I have been successful with both the tribes. They have blessed what I have proposed. At the same time, farmers have blessed what I proposed. It's a very, very delicate issue. The tribes have 100 years of complaints, and rightly so, their atrocities on them, how to balance that in this issue. Other things are housing. If you look at my speeches from 2019, you will find out I wanted to do more on housing. We did buy 50 tiny homes. We spent $20 million in affordable housing. We have about 4,000 people whose rents we are paying, subsidies we are paying, utilities we are paying. You know, this situation is so delicate. There could be 1,000 people homeless in our community more if we don't do that. Those things are not visible because you don't see them on the street. You look at the senior citizens with limited pension income. That's all they have, how they are living. And they can't get a job because they are retired. We can't expect them to now go to work when they're 65, 70-year-old. We have to look after them. Our system has totally failed. Our American system, most richest country, has failed its own citizens. It's sad. It takes us 2 days to order one new aircraft carrier for $100 billion. But it takes us, I have seen in the last 20 years, no decision has been taken on drugs, homelessness, affordable housing, and senior citizens. It won't even take $100 billion to do. Sorry, I stopped.
No, that's totally okay. We're out of time. Thank you so much for taking this time to come and seek our endorsement, and we wish you luck.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.